Grayscale rattles the crypto world with a new bombshell. In a recent SEC filing, they unveil plans for the Grayscale Bitcoin Mini Trust. This mini version of the GBTC promises lower fees and tax advantages, offering crypto enthusiasts a fresh way into the Bitcoin. Brace yourselves for the seismic shift in crypto investment strategies. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and let's start. Starting off with breaking news as 1.7 trillion patient capital management just filed with the SEC to buy Bitcoin ETFs was up to 15% of its opportunity trust fund. Next up, Bitcoin is showing us a blow-off type 4-year cycle, not a diminishing returns type. Also showing a left translated cycle top before December is a real if this doesn't cool off, unless we get a 6 months consolidation from 70 to 100,000 yellow to build into a super cycle. Next up, Bitcoin is the best saving tech ever invented, but it's ultimately just a tool to help you live better life. You only get one shot at this, and money is just one piece of the puzzle. Lots of fiat brains get hung up on the number on the screen and have no idea how to turn it into a good life. Don't be one of them. Soon you're going to see all kinds of people shelling 100x opportunities on your timeline, but here's some alpha for this season of gains. Ignore the siren call of shitcoins and go do hard things outside with your friends and family instead. Hike a mountain, run a long distance, jump in an icy lake. 99 times out of 100 you're going to have a great time and it will cost you nothing. And I promise the memories will pay better dividends than that shitcoins yield farming scheme. Stack sats and get outside the original 100x opportunity. Hey guys, Bitcoin just crashed again. It's all over, and it just crashed just a little bit as we could see, and this is just a small joke over there. We will pretend like we're ready for this, and we actually pretend, but we are not ready for this on the Bitcoin right now. Just in, JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon says that I defend your right to smoke a cigarette. I'll defend your right to buy a Bitcoin at Australian Financial Review Business Summit. Next up, new El Salvador will be able to pay off the IMF if Bitcoin hits 100,000 and never have to talk to them again. They'll probably be the most attractive country in the world to go live just because they embraced Bitcoin, says billionaire Tim Draper. Also, just in, as Canadian rapper Drake shared yesterday's Michael Saylor's interview on Instagram with his 146 million followers. Bitcoin crashing below $4,000 during the COVID collapse exactly 4 years ago, down 50% in one day, and everyone who bought the dip is up 1700% since then. Good morning, don't lose sight of the bigger picture. This is the marathon, not the sprint. Bitcoin has fully arrived to step 2, which is being embraced wholeheartedly by former skeptics and enemies, and let's focus on that. Step 3 is the logical next step through, though we are many years away from it. So collectible, store of value, medium of exchange, unit of account. That's what we have. Just in, as yesterday's Bitcoin ETF net flows totalated $505 million, BlackRock's $562 million, Fidelity $215 million, Bitwise $50 million, ARK $13 million, Valkyrie $43 million, VanEck with the latest updates $120 million, which grew up amazingly, WisdomTree $5.8 million, and Invesco minus $10 million, and Grayscale minus $500 million. Continues to crash the price. Bears can't win the game until spot Bitcoin ETFs inflow stops. Last week, spot ETF saw a net flows of 30,000 Bitcoin. Known entities like exchanges and miners hold about 3 million Bitcoins, including 1.5 million Bitcoins by the US entities. At this rate, we'll see a sell-side liquidity crisis within just 6 months. Bitcoin has broken to its 4th cycle all-time high, rallying above 72,000 and pushing sentiment one step closer to euphoria. The classic wealth transfer from the hodler cohort to speculators is now well underway, with a significant upticks in spot profit taking and demand for futures leverage. Next up, we go for 1x Bitcoin ETFs eliminated its fee, resulting in 20x average inflows, and basically we are going to discuss it a little bit later, but first of all, new Bitcoin application from Grayscale to SEC. Bitcoin ETF manager Grayscale has filed with the SEC to launch its new Bitcoin mini trust product, according to filing on Tuesday, CoinDesk reports. According to this filing, Grayscale is seeking approval from the SEC to introduce the Grayscale Bitcoin Mini Trust, which is seeded with a percentage of GBTC shares. The Grayscale Bitcoin Mini Trust will have lower fees and will not be expected to pay capital gains tax on the automatic transfer from GBTC to the new fund. So the mini version of GBTC is expected to offer holders additional access to Bitcoin without having to pay extra taxes. As a person close to Grayscale told CoinDesk that the currently undisclosed fees would be competitive with some low-cost Bitcoin ETFs on the market right now, as well as 1x zero-fee Bitcoin ETF sparks 20x inflows surge. So effective immediately, this bold move has sparked a 20x surge in the fund's inflows, as the decision to waive the fee on the Bitcoin ETF comes at a pivotal moment for the cryptocurrency market. 1x fee elimination, a catalyst for unprecedented inflows. Despite volatility, Bitcoin attracts the investors for its high return potential and status as digital gold. So 1x fee removal makes Bitcoin more accessible, signaling confidence in its lasting value. So investors have sought cost-effective Bitcoin exposure, often deterred by high fees. So 1x fee elimination makes it attractive, possibly setting an industry standard. The immediate aftermath of this decision was a surge in inflows, underscoring the market's positive reception. So, with the inflows up to 20x in a day, investors are seizing the chance to invest in 1x Bitcoin ETF cost-free, as the interest surge benefits 1x to boost the Bitcoin acceptance into mainstream finance as more investors in Bitcoin ETFs mature the market, enhancing stability and inclusivity. As the landscape of Bitcoin ETFs has reached a remarkable milestone, with total net inflows into the Bitcoin ETFs surging by an additional 7.1 thousand Bitcoins, this increase has propelled the total amount of Bitcoin held in ETFs to a new all-time high of 808,000 Bitcoins, as furthermore the expansion of the Bitcoin ETF market is underscored by the introduction of 9 new Bitcoin ETFs collectively holding over 14,000 Bitcoins. So this growth signifies a rising investor confidence in Bitcoin and marks its mainstream financial integration. Next up we go for is JP Morgan CEO says he'll defend people's right to buy Bitcoin. JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon said he would defend people's rights purchase Bitcoin as US Bureau of Labor Statistics CPI data comes in hotter than expected. JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon said that despite his reservations towards Bitcoin, he would still defend people's rights to purchase the asset if they wish. And at this week's Australian Financial Review Business Summit in Sydney, Dimon discussed the Bitcoin's recent rally and offered his thoughts on the timing of this year's possible rate cut by the US Federal Reserve. I defend your right to smoke a cigarette and I'll defend your right to buy a Bitcoin, the JP Morgan Chase CEO told attendees. However, he added that he would personally never buy Bitcoin. And I do think it's a risk if you're a buyer. When government looks at all this stuff, why do they put up with it, he said. So in the light of Bitcoin's price reaching a new all-time high above 72,000 mark this week, Dimon suggesting that a recent surge should prompt investors to pause, as he then hinted that the market could be witnessing a bubble and the bullish buyers might overlook these signals, and I'm not so sure the world is as safe or the risk-free place, he added. That's all the information we got on today's video, so don't forget to subscribe, like and share. See you in the next one, and peace.